I am Nick Shell, and I am the head honcho of hair loss. I want to say out loud what I think we all already know, that there's an obligation to keep your hair if you still got most of it, and there's an obligation to shave it off if you've got too little of it. Now granted, I would assume most of you watching my channel are gonna be somewhere in between. You know, should I take Propecia? Should I get a hair transplant? Am I gonna go bald? I think that those are the questions that a lot of people ask that watch my videos. But if you still have most of your hair, like I do, there's an obligation to just go ahead and keep my hair. Now granted, for 3 months straight I shaved it all off at a zero guard, even doing a clean shave at one point, and mainly got great reviews from you who watched it. But in the real world, where people don't watch my videos all day, the people who live in this house with me, even beyond that, my family and people who know me well, they all kind of just didn't say anything about it. And when words were mentioned, it was kind of like, so when are you gonna grow your hair out? You know, that was because it goes back to, if you've still got most of your hair and you're not just obviously noticeably balding, then you have an obligation to keep your hair. Sure, Nick, you want to play around for a little bit and shave it off for a while? Okay, have your fun, but then come back to the real world and grow your hair back out, which is where I'm at now, you know. And I fall into the category of being obligated to keep hair because I can. On the opposite side of the spectrum, once you lose a certain amount of hair, and it's not about a Norwood status, I think more than anything it's about a status of actual balding, diffuse thinning. When you've lost a certain amount, no matter where you are on the Norwood scale, when people can clearly see your scalp, and that's noticeable, people begin to ask the question, well, why doesn't he just shave it all off? And I get that, I understand it at some point. Just like for me, I have an obligation to keep my hair because I'm not at that point. You know, for the rest of the world, they see a guy, they wouldn't even think the word balding or hair loss wouldn't even cross their mind if they saw me. You know, I make videos showing you close-ups of it and showing you in the mirror where I'm thinning and all that stuff. So sure, you're gonna notice it, but in the real world, I fall into that category of obligated to keep my hair. And I think it maybe makes the rest of the world maybe even feel either uncomfortable or just, again, why would he do that if he doesn't have to? It's an obligation to keep my hair. So, but then again, if you're noticeably balding to the point where someone, you know, people, I guess, because our culture and our the times we live in, it's so acceptable to shave off your hair now. If it's obviously you're losing that battle. So there you go. I think we all are aware of it, but I just wanted to say it out loud. Most of you watching this channel probably fall more in the category of, you've still got most of your hair, you're not obligated to shave it off yet. You speculate that might change, and that's maybe part of your motivation for watching my videos, but you're not there yet. You know, and maybe by watching my videos, it'll help prepare you for that time. And that's a good reason to watch my videos. As for now, I'm obligated to keep my hair. Because if nothing else, it confuses the people around me in real life. Why would he do that if he doesn't have to? Now, granted, if you've been watching my videos during all that time I was shaving off my hair at a zero guard and a clean head shave, you knew that that truly was an expression of how I feel inside about myself. I felt great having a zero guard buzz cut, and I would have had no problem doing that the rest of my life. I don't know that my own curiosity or feeling of obligation to grow hair because I still could, I don't know that that would have ever been so important to me that I would have needed to grow my hair back out if it were up to me, because I totally embraced that part of my identity. But I think to some degree, we have an obligation to society, not peer pressure necessarily, but I think there's an unspoken code of an obligation to society. If you still have most of your hair, to keep it, and if you've lost most of it, shave it off. What do you think about that? That's how I perceive society looks at men who are balding versus those who are not. And yes, there are some in between, but even then, let's say you're Norwood 3, that's probably even still jumping the shark, jumping the gun a little bit on that if there's not noticeable thinning. What are your thoughts on that? I want this conversation to continue in the comments right here.